My name is Cade Cox, and I'm a senior here at KHS. What inspired you to go into politics?
Cade, thanks for having me today. It's great to be here with the Kilgore Bulldogs, right? And go Dogs. We're pleased to be able to talk to some of the best students in the country, because I know here in East Texas we have the best students, no question about it. Let me just tell you, the question to your answer about what inspired me to go into politics and why am I in politics is because early on my parents decided to teach me what I know your parents and teachers are teaching you, and that is to find a way to serve your community. That each one of you has a special call in this life to do something great, and each thing that you're going to do is very different from all the rest of your classmates, but you got to find a way to serve other people. It's about giving back, right? That's what it's about. So early on, my parents taught me that. Even though we grew up in a very poor household, they taught me that no matter how little you have or how much you have, you got to give back. And the question always was, how, when, and where would you serve? For one of my brothers is in math and engineering, one is in education, one's in business, and then I pursued law and politics. We each pursued our own track, but each one of us is serving our community. And that's what's so special about it. Fourth grade is when I knew for a fact that I needed to run for public office. I was watching Ronald Reagan go through his second election, and my dad took me to some rallies and introduced me to what was going on in the world in politics. And as a result of that, I knew in my heart I needed to run.
Wow, that's a neat story. Thank you.
Hello, sir. My name is Connor Baker. I'm also a senior here at Kilgore High School. My question is, what is a typical day like as a congressman?
Connor, there is no typical day as a congressman, but let me tell you what some of the days look like. First of all, let's divide out kind of the weeks. In any given month, I spend about 3 weeks of the month in Washington, D.C., and then I spend the other week here in the district. Now, I still live in the home that I had before I went to Congress, and that's right outside of White House, Texas. I've got kiddos that go to school there. That's where I went to school, where I graduated now almost 33 years ago, almost 32 years ago now. And so a typical day is a little different in the district and in Washington, D.C. So let's look at when I'm here in the district. It's 17 counties bigger than the state of New Jersey. That's a big area. What I love to do is to do face-to-face meetings with constituents, to visit businesses, to have speeches and town halls and forums and avenues for me to communicate and dialogue with the people that I work for. Because truly, that's what it's about, right? At the end of the day, I'm the voice of East Texas in Washington, D.C. So in order to know that voice, I need to be communicating and listening as much as possible. And so for those of you that are 18 years or older, I work for you. And you're my boss, and I don't forget that. So I spend my days driving around the 17 county region that goes from Tyler to Gilmer to Mount Pleasant, up to Clarksville, over to Texarkana, down the Arkansas-Louisiana border, all the way down to Pineland, Texas, and then back up to Tyler and everywhere in between, including Kilgore and Henderson and Longview and Marshall and Jefferson and Center and all those great places and the little places in between that. So that's what I do when I'm in the district. When I'm in Washington, D.C., most of my days for now start real early. Congressional baseball practice starts about 5:45 in the morning. So I get up about 5 a.m. I do that till about 7:15. I have my first meetings that start generally about 8 o'clock in the morning. And those will be meetings with constituents that are up there to talk to me about important issues. Those will be meetings with my fellow members of Congress, either conference meetings just with my party or meetings generally, maybe some intel meetings that are given to all members of Congress at the same time. We'll also have committee hearings. Those committee hearings fill up a lot of the day. I'm on the Ways and Means Committee, which is the oldest and probably the busiest committee in Congress. It handles tax, trade, Social Security, Medicare, a lot of issues like that. A lot of work and welfare issues all come through the Ways and Means Committee. I'm on the Ethics Committee, and I'm also on the China Select Committee. So that means I handle a lot of Chinese issues as well. So we're very busy. Got to prepare for those meetings, which means working with my legislative staff and working with my communication staff to figure out how we're going to communicate that out to people once we actually get bills filed that we need to file, or when we prepare for hearings where we're going to have those hearings. And then we get on the House floor and we debate issues and we have votes, and then I meet with more folks in the afternoon. I end up back at my place of abode about 10 p.m. at night. So usually it's going to be a day that starts for me about 5 a.m., ends at 10 p.m., and then I look at the next day and figure out, okay, what do I need to prepare for tomorrow and get ready for that.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, my name is Tiana Moore. I'm also a senior here at Kilgore High School, and a program very near to your heart is the Military Service Academy. Can you elaborate on how your office is involved?
Yeah, I love the service academies because this is an opportunity to take already great leaders, and I think we got the best in East Texas, take those great leaders and make them even better and prepare them for a lifetime of service to the nation in the military. That means the Air Force Academy, the Naval Academy, that means West Point, and that also means the Merchant Marine Academy. You know, for a student that gets a bid to go to one of those academies, it's 4 years of free education. All you got to do is give back 5 years of military service, and then you have one of the top degrees in the nation and can do whatever you want to do in this world and have that education as a support system. But we have very few slots every year to nominate people. That process starts in October. So October the 1st, you have to have all your materials in. You have to have done your physical test and your academic testing and get your letters of recommendation and your application through us. And then you have to apply also to the military academy. And then we both look at you and we decide after we interview you, do we want to give a nomination? They decide, do we want to admit this person? If so, then you get your formal approval to go to the military academy. We love doing that. I love making those calls saying, congratulations, you're on your way. It's something that's near and dear to my heart.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kylie Lewis, and I'm a senior here at Kilgore. Tell us about your personal experience when you applied to West Point.
Kylie, when I was a junior in high school, I was trying to figure out what comes next. I played football and basketball and did tennis and did a few other things, was in the band. And so I had a variety of things that I loved to do when I was in high school here in East Texas. But I didn't know what I was going to do next. And my counselor came to me and said, have you ever considered going to a military academy? And I said, no, I haven't. So she gave me some information and I checked it out. And before you know it, I was in the application process. I did my physical test. I had to go get a medical examination. I had to get my teachers to recommend me and get those letters of recommendation. And then I had to make sure all my testing was in order. And then I had to go over to Rockwall, which is where my congressman at the time, Ralph Hall, that's where his office was. And I went over and met with Ralph Hall individually and had an interview with him. And after we interviewed then, found out that he gave me the appointment and the nomination and was pleased to do that. There was about 12,000 people across the nation that year that applied to get into West Point. Only 1,200 of us got in. So very select few to get in, but it changed my life because in those a couple of years I was there, before I transferred to Texas Tech, what I learned was duty, honor, country. Those three words reverently dictate what we can be, what we will be, what we ought to be, and to prepare for a lifetime of service to the nation. No matter if you're in the military or not, you can serve in some way or another.
Thank you so much.
I'm Nate Perez, a junior here at KHS. And are there any other programs that you offer to high school students?
Nate, I love your name, by the way. It's a great name. It means gift of God. And every one of us has a different gift, a different calling in this life. And that's why we do a bunch of different things for high school students. Not only do we have nominations for the military academies, but we run an art contest. So if you like to draw, every student in Northeast Texas can submit an piece of artwork, a photograph or a painting or a drawing. And then we have a big committee that gets together and decides on one piece of artwork that we can take back to Washington, D.C. to hang on in the halls of the Capitol for 1 year. Every member of Congress gets to select one piece of artwork from a high school student to do that. That Congressional Art Contest is a lot of fun. We get together and we have a big ceremony in December to honor all those, the students, the teachers, the parents of those students. And then if you're the winner, you actually get to fly up to D.C. with your parent and participate in the ceremony up there. It's really neat. We also have an app contest because we know that some students, like me, can't draw real well, which is okay. But if you're creative and you want to develop a technology application for a phone, you can do that. Last year, the winner was from Texas High, developed an application to help people do fundraising in their community and their schools. And we think that students have great ideas and can put those ideas to work. We want to honor that and select a person for an app winner, an app contest winner. And then the last thing we do for students is we have a service award. One of the things that's important to me, as you've already heard me say a lot of times today, is service. I think we're all called to do two things in this life. That's love God and love others. That means serving God and serving others in every way possible. So we look at, we pick a boy and a girl every year from 11th or 12th grade, and we say we want to honor them for service to their community, to their church, to their school, to their family. We want to promote and honor a story of service. And so whether or not you have high academic scores or you're a great athlete, that doesn't matter. What matters is, where's your heart? Is your heart for service? And if it is, we want to honor you for that. And we want to tell other people that this is the way we should live our lives. And so we have a service award as well. Happy to do all that and to be part of promoting the fact that I think in East Texas, we have the best students in the nation and in the world. And we want to make examples of them because they're going to be the leaders of tomorrow. Do you guys agree with that? Yeah, I agree with that too. I can't tell you how great it's been to be with you guys here in Kilgore today and to be able to speak with you. Nate, thanks so much for asking the last question. Any closing thoughts today? All right, how about this? Go Bulldogs. Yeah, let's do that. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.